Whether it be in our Legends discussion of Imperial Starfighter doctrines, or recently with our canon discussions surrounding Grand Admiral Thrawn's TIE Defender, one question always seems to come to the forefront, and rightfully so. What would have happened if the Empire employed starfighters better than their TIE fighters, utilizing one of the many variants it already had? On its face, it seems to elicit a simple answer. A wing complement of 72 TIE Interceptors and TIE Defenders within each Star Destroyer would have vastly increased the military prowess of the Empire, providing it with a far superior navy. I don't think anyone would doubt that had it been TIE Defenders running down the Rebel X-Wings within the Death Star's trenches, the Battle of Yavin would have ended differently. This isn't surprising. Given that the rebellion was dedicated to a starfighter-focused strategy early on, a boost in the Empire's starfighters would have went a long way in helping to crush the rebel scum. But as you'll remember, the Empire went in the opposite direction, relying on standard TIE fighters without a hyperdrive, and more importantly, without even the slightest existence of defensive energy shields. Fortunately, we aren't the only ones curious about the deficiency of the Empire's TIE fighters. The question of what would have happened had the Empire deployed superior starfighters against the rebellion was at the forefront of the First Order's military strategists in-universe as well. With limited resources, the First Order had to learn from the greatest mistakes of the Galactic Empire and alter course, and in their study, they found the one simple military decision that could have saved the Empire. At a speech in front of the pilots of the First Order, General Armitage Hux marked the 52nd anniversary of Empire Day, and Palpatine's decision to reorganize the galaxy into the Empire. Speaking directly to the First Order pilots, Hux noted that while he respected those who came before them, he had to acknowledge that the First Order hadn't only grown stronger than the Empire, but wiser. While they adopted valuable Imperial ideals, they outright rejected the Empire's errors without thought. For Hux and the First Order, the gravest mistake of the Empire was in their undervaluing their own troopers, expressed more commonly and clearly in failing to provide their TIE fighters with even the most basic energy shield systems that were common among even the most insignificant non-military vessels used in commerce. But this didn't only demonstrate a failing in adequately knowing the value of pilots. It was also a tactical blunder of the highest order, an error that would cost them the Civil War. With years on their side to study the errors of the Empire while hidden within the unknown regions, the First Order were able to generate numerous tactical simulations regarding the most important battles of the Galactic Civil War. In every tactical simulation run by the First Order, the outcome was clear. The Battle of Yavin and the Battle of Endor would have ended with an Imperial victory had the Empire simply outfitted their TIE fighters with even the most basic of energy shield systems. And make no mistake, this didn't mean that the Empire replaced its standard TIEs with the far superior TIE Defender, Advanced X1, or even Advanced V1. The tactical simulations uncovered by the First Order were unmistakable. If the standard TIE Fighter model had any type of minimal shields, the multiplier effect for the overall Imperial Navy would have been enormous. Yes, the Death Stars would have been saved as discovered by the First Order models, but who knows what other benefits this would have brought in, say, the Battle of Scarif, or other important confrontations in the Rebellion and Galactic Civil War eras. The First Order was so confident in the results of their tactical simulations and the cost that was dealt to the Galactic Empire that it defined their entire starfighter corps. Unlike the Empire, First Order TIE fighters, from Kylo Ren's TIE Silencer right down to the standard TIE, were all proudly equipped with shield generators. Of course, while some of this was due to the difference in resources available to the First Order, where their pilots were far more valuable, it nevertheless represented a break with the errors of the Empire. In all of this though, we should remember that the First Order had the benefit of hindsight. Not only that, but from its own point of view within its own era, the Empire had its reasons for deploying the TIEs as they eventually were. Not everyone in the Imperial hierarchy favored no shields, and the choice wasn't one made by some incompetent Admiral. The decision to forego shields was promoted directly by Tarkin and Palpatine. The lack of shields brought other advantages in speed and maneuverability, and technology at the time had difficulty producing enough energy output for the advanced weapon systems demanded of the TIE and energy shields. Tarkin was also a product of his era. He saw Jedi generals piloting shieldless starfighters and believed highly trained pilots could approximate their successes. Palpatine also thought the lack of shields would make pilots more motivated to carry out their missions quickly. And all of this doesn't even mention the Imperial commitment to the Tarkin Doctrine, a doctrine that promoted the projection of force and fear through massive capital ships and superweapons. Expenses had to be prioritized to those projects rather than the millions of starfighters. But regardless, the First Order tactical simulations give us a very interesting perspective in-universe to one of my favorite discussion topics here on the channel. If the Empire had only simply equipped its standard TIE fighters with energy shields, the Death Stars would have certainly survived, and with it, Palpatine's Imperial Order. So there we have it, the one military decision that could have saved the Empire as discovered by the First Order. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for things like this mattering... Oh.